Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Stony Brook, located on the ancestral lands of the Settlecott Nation. My name is Ellen Bartley, and I'm happy to be serving as worship associate this morning, along with our guest minister, Reverend Anya Sammler-Michael. Mike Hoffman shares his gift of music with us this morning, as does Maureen Keelty in accompanying our hymns. Our Director of Religious Education is Patrick McDivitt, and our tech team today is Rob Pond and Rich Hall. We welcome all of you, those here in our sanctuary and those attending online. We are one congregation worshiping together. So let's all say hi and wave to each other through the camera on your left. A very special welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. We're so glad you came in or tuned in, and we look forward to getting to know you. Whether you have joined us in the sanctuary or online, please plan to join us as our guest after the service for coffee and conversation. For those with us online, if you sign off after the service, you'll find the link for joining our virtual coffee hour for a small group chat. In any event, we know that you'll find some friendly folks who can help you find answers to any questions you might have. To share joys and sorrows at any time during the service, please feel free to come forward to the table over here and drop a pebble in the water. Should you wish to make a promise or let go of one, remember someone, release a bit of pain, or otherwise mark something that's on your mind, you may quietly send your thoughts outward as you drop a pebble into the water, connecting your individual intention with those in all of our community. It is my honor to introduce our guest minister this morning. Reverend Anya serves as the senior co-minister at the Unitarian Universalist congregation in Montclair. Her Master of Divinity is from Meadville, Lombard, a Unitarian Universalist seminary. Her focus in ministry includes building interfaith and intercultural connections, cultivating deep joy to foster collective liberation, and honestly confronting the evils of racism, anti-trans bigotry, sexism, and indifference. She has received awards for her interfaith justice work, including an Exemplary Leadership Award from Loudoun Interfaith Bridges, and a Community Builder Award from the New Jersey Institute for Social Justice. During the 2008 presidential election, she was honored to provide invocations for both Michelle and Barack Obama at campaign events. She is a member of the Montclair NAACP, a leader on New Jersey Faith Allies Fighting for Reparations Task Force, a core leader building an Essex chapter of New Jersey Together, and a founding member of the Friends of the How House, a nonprofit uplifting Black history. Reverend Anya is a gardener and an athlete. She meditates and practices yoga. She finds God in the stranger and holiness in spaces where people meet. And we're so grateful for her presence today. Please silence your cell phones if you haven't done so already, so that we may all be fully present in this time we share together. As we now enter into the sacred space of worship with the sounding of the morning bell, may its vibrations open our hearts, clear our minds, and bring us fully into this moment.
Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? Sounds like a whisper. Don't you know, talking about a revolution, it sounds like a whisper, standing on the welfare lines, crying on the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Well, don't you know, they're talking about a revolution, it sounds like a whisper. Poor people gonna rise up, get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs. Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. 'Cause finally the table's starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh, yes, the tables are finally starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh, while they're standing on the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Well, don't you know, we're talking about a revolution, it sounds like a whisper. And finally the table's starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, the table's finally starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh, talking about a revolution.
Well, good morning, Stony Brook Fellowship. You know, you've kind of got it going on. This place is alive. It really is. I visit a lot of places. I try and visit a lot of places. You are working on all fronts at once. You have young ones here. You have a great tech team and a really tall treasurer. You have amazing worship leaders here who took incredible care of me. It is a gift to be among you. And the words for our chalice lighting, our invocation, come from the Reverend Joan Javier Duval. Here is where you can lay it down. Lay down all that you have carried. The weight of the world that has rounded your back, leaving you aching and exhausted. Here is where healing begins, where burdens are set down like pebbles in the water. And alongside one another's burden, their magnitude does not seem as great. Here is where the door is thrown open and light can lift away the shadows, and what was hidden can now be seen. Here is where you can rest, where nothing is expected, but that you bring all of who you are into the presence of the holy and of this loving community. Let us worship together. Beautifully done. Thank you all. Will you rise in body or spirit and sing along with us, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire? This is hymn number 34 in the gray hymnals.
There's been a minor change to our order of service. The book written there is written as Grace for President, and Grace wasn't available this morning, so what we have is a lovely book that Patrick will be showing our children on the carpet entitled Speak Up, written by Miranda Paul, illustrated by Ebony Glenn. Now, a little different this morning. I'm going to need some help. There's going to be some parts of this story when I'm going to need the help of our young people. Do you think you can? All right. When I raise my hand like this, everybody take a look. That means you shout out the words, speak up. All right? So let's practice that. Speak up. All right. A little loud. We're going to have to hear it a little louder than that. There are times we should be quiet. There are days for letting go. But when matters seem important, let others know. With so many ways to speak up, like a sign, a smile, a shout, if we could make things better, why not let our words come out? When you're being introduced and they get your name all wrong, say your name. You are you, and you belong. When someone spreads a rumor and you're not sure it's even true, state the facts. Truth can open up our view. When a rule just isn't fair or has gotten much too old, work for change. Justice comes when we are bold. When a person wounds another and with their words or with their fists, be an ally. Safety comes first when we persist. If you see someone who's lonely or having a bad day, share a moment. Kindness goes a long way. Now, when you make a small mistake, even if you don't know, say you're sorry. Learn to listen. Learn to grow. When you have a special day or you're given something neat, speak up. Ask for help. When you're, I missed a line. Speak up, and gratitude makes life sweet. When you're sad or packed with feelings and the world seems dark and gray, speak up. Ask for help. Friendship chases clouds away. When trees and creatures suffer from our quick and careless choices, speak up. Rally others. Nature needs our mindful voices. When you know a scary secret about someone getting hurt, speak up. Tell a grown-up. Courage sometimes means you blurt. When your group is taking one path, but you know it's not the way, speak up. Change directions. Leaders don't always obey. While some people speak loudly and your words might whisper quiet, one voice can make a difference. So don't hesitate. Go try it. Thanks for your help. Please join together to sing the children out to their classrooms with the re-benediction found on the inside back cover of your hymnal.
Our reading this morning is Everything Needs Fixing from Carla Cordero. In your 30s, everything needs fixing. I bought a toolbox for this, filled it with equipment my father once owned to keep our house from crumbling. I purchased tools with names and functions unknown to me, how they sat there on the shelf in their plastic packaging with price tags screaming, "Hey lady, you need this." Like one day I could give my home and everything living inside it the gift of immortality. To be a historical monument the neighbors would line up to visit even after I'm gone and shout, "Damn, that's a nice house." I own a drill now with hundreds and hundreds of metal pieces I probably won't use or use in the wrong ways. But what I'm certain of is still the uncertainty of which tools repair the aging dog, the wilting snake plant, the crow's feet under my eyes, the stiff knee or the bad back. And maybe this is how it is, how small parts of our universe dissolve like sugar cubes in water, a calling to us to slow our busy breathing so we can marvel at its magic. Because even the best box of nails are capable of rust. Because when I was a child, I dropped a cookie jar in the shape of Noah's Ark, a family heirloom that shattered to pieces. The animals broke free, zebras ran under the kitchen table, the fractured lion roared by the front door, and out of the tool cabinet, I snagged duct tape and ceramic glue and pieced each beast back to their intended journey. Because that afternoon, when my father returned from work, I confessed, and he sat the jar on the counter only to fill it with pastries. How the cracks of imperfection, mended by my hands, laid jagged, chipped paint sliced across a rhino's neck, every wild animal lined up against the boat, and a flood of sweet confections waiting inside. In a moment, Reverend Anya will lead us into meditation with spoken words. Maureen will mind the time for us and then lead us out of silence with hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. If you aren't familiar with this hymn, you may want to open to it now, number 123.
So enter with me now into this time of meditation or prayer or reflection or hope or grounding, each as we are called, and yet all together. Let us begin just by breathing, to breathe in and to breathe out and to breathe in and to breathe out. A community that matches breath to breath in space comes together in this spirit of meditation, finding heart to heart, compassion to compassion, needs met and people cared for. We breathe in and we breathe out. And we come here with aches and sorrows and laments and so many things that need fixing. And we breathe in and we breathe out. And we have been watching the news. And we have families and friends, and there are people on the streets that are hungry. And we breathe in, and we breathe out. And our hands ache from all that they have been doing, and our hearts ache for all that we haven't figured out how to do yet. And our minds ache for all the changes and contradictions. And we breathe in and we breathe out, and we breathe in, and we breathe out, and we find ourselves here in this moment and the next, and we find in this moment and the next gratitude, because this is another day we have been given. We have arisen, we have woken up. There are seconds and minutes and hours to this day, and it is ours to live in the way that our spirits call, and we breathe in, and we breathe out, and we remember that here in a community, we learn to speak up and speak out and be the strong person we are called to be in a world of aches and pains and challenges. And we breathe in and we breathe out, and we lift up praise for the sun that has risen and the day that has come and the time that we have and the space that we occupy and the dreams that we nurture and the love that makes all of it worthwhile. Amen. If you will hold silence with me as this silence holds us all.
It is our spiritual practice to share our offering plate with an organization working for a more just future. For the month of November, our share plate recipient is Planned Parenthood Hudson-Peconic. We are living in a time when their mission is severely challenged. Planned Parenthood Hudson-Peconic serves Suffolk County and continues to provide much-needed healthcare services and health education that is comprehensive, medically accurate, and age-appropriate. In giving to Planned Parenthood Hudson-Peconic, we support their good work in our local communities. Please give as generally as possible. For those worshiping online, the link to donate is in the comments now, and also on the homepage of our website.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. Think it's time we stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Everybody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the streets, singing songs and carrying signs. Mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep. Within your life it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going, you better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going, you better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going, you better stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Well, that was fantastic. And I think we showed our ages with that one. But I noticed that we did clap on the 2 and the 4, not the 1 and the 3. Well done. Not every Unitarian Universalist congregation could say the same. My husband's a drummer, by the way. I hear about that all the time. So everything needs fixing, right? And it seems like near everything is broken. How many text messages or emails flood your devices daily proclaiming the end of the world, or at least the end of democracy as we know it? If we don't show up, stand up, speak up, or pony up, it's all gonna end. No small task, no lack of urgency. Are you feeling the pressure? The overwhelm, the exhaustion? Beloveds, we are witnessing our nation attempt to break the bonds between its own. Passing legislation that steals from the poor and gives to the rich. Owning in word and deed a racism that, yes, echoes through the ages, but reveals now not only a privilege, but a project. A very specific project to win by divide and conquer. Let me pause before going on and say that you are loved, you are cared for, you have a community here to hold you through everything. A community that is committed not only to uphold your worth and dignity, but to uphold the worth and dignity of everyone our nation perilously rejects. That's why you gather. That's why we gather. That's why we need one another now. We have here among us a people who have come together because of our diversity to make of ourselves something wider and deeper, something larger than ourselves. You are not alone. And if you are ever at a loss for words to comfort someone who is feeling the devastation of these days, tell them that they are loved and then invite them here. Because now more than ever, we need communities like this one to feel that we can overcome. Everything needs fixing. Everything needs fixing, even me. Ask my husband. I've broken a finger. I've broken a toe. I've broken my hand. I've had stress fractures aplenty through both of my legs. Concussions, oh, too many. At one point, I fractured my heel bone. Who does that? I've broken a wrist and the other wrist. Both my knees have been torn and repaired. I've been in cast after cast, sling after sling. I'm not weak. I'm an athlete. I have been all of my days. I've been an adventurer, so I have put myself out there. I've put myself at risk, so I have been broken and pulled together again by cloth and glue, metal and screws. Just look at the x-rays in these hands. I've been pulled together again by patience and care, and my brokenness has been made whole. This is a project I must get behind, the project of repair. Pulling the disparate parts and the shattered pieces together again, like that cookie jar from our reading, split asunder, animal from animal. And by the way, you did just a beautiful job reading that. The creatures torn away from their saving ark until loving hands, fearing perhaps the rebuke of a father figure, taped and glued the bits back together again. I'm moved by this poem, moved because who cannot find themselves in that story? Arranging the pieces back together again, metaphorically or literally, after some family heirloom, some treasure was broken with the slip of a hand. I opened a cabinet once after a minor earthquake and stood still and stunned while nearly every piece of my grandmother's china tumbled around me like a rainstorm, all the way to the floor. And then there was Dan. We lived for some time with my husband, Reverend Scott Sammler-Michael's brother, Dan. Dan is a one-of-a-kind, an artist, a dreamer, and Dan has an amazing talent, a rare, unmistakable ability to break glass upon glass until the cabinets are bare. I'd find a shard in the sink or under the fridge. I'd hear an explosion on the kitchen floor and groan, here we go again. I'd watch as one of his gesticulations launched a pint glass through the air. Dan could even get so excited telling a story that he would slam a glass down to punctuate the message with a cacophonous flair. Dan. Dan taught me how to love. Yep, with Dan I learned that stuff, no matter how curated or kept, no matter the heritage, presents from friends, passed down from ancestors, stuff, even the good stuff, is no match for a human bond. Dan taught me to love again and again. Dan taught me to love after every broken glass. He taught me to love the person in front of me, not the item in shards on the floor. He taught me people over stuff, people over profit every time. Woe to a nation that can't embody the same. Once to every soul and nation, contends the poet James Russell Lowe, protesting the present crisis of his time. You can read along or find it later if you are moved to. It's 119 in your gray hymnal. James Russell Lowe. Once to every soul and nation comes a moment to decide, in the strife of truth and falsehood, for the good or evil side. Some great cause, God's new Messiah offering each the bloom or blight, and the choice goes by forever twixt the darkness and the light. Though the cause of evil prosper, yet 'tis truth alone is strong. Though her portions be the scaffold, and upon the throne be wrong. Yet that scaffold sways the future, and behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. Woe to the nation that puts profit over people, like it did in Lowell's time with the Mexican-American War. Woe to the nation that does it in our own time. A nation that puts profit over people ignores both a theological and a scientific truth. Scientifically, we have all emerged from the same building blocks of life. We are each our own kindred. My blood is your blood, and we still breathe the same air. Our wholeness is natural. And theologically, universalism teaches that nothing can break us from one another, that we are inherently bound up together in God's love. Woe to the nation that engages in the project of splitting us from those to whom we are inherently bound, just to make a buck or two. And yet here's the kicker. Nationalism, the devil of these devastating times, was at its start designed to further this spiritual bond. It was originally a commitment to pull together the broken pieces, the persons, the tribes, and make of them something whole. That's what nationalism was, at least at first. From 1789, the word nation came to mean all persons living in a particular state. Let me say that again. Nation signified the people. Nation signified the people, and state meant the property. And the politicalization, says John M. Owen in his essay, Whose Nationalism?, was also its democratization. So much was this young nationalism concurrent with democracy that the Enlightenment philosopher Rousseau said, each of us puts his person and all his powers in common under the supreme direction of the nation, and in our corporate capacity, we receive each member as an indivisible part of the whole. Indivisible, I've heard that before. You too? The people, the nation, were the disparate pieces being brought together into a collective of rights-bearing citizens, an indivisible part of the whole, from the small to the large, from the individual or from the tribe to the nation. Out of many, one. I've heard that too. You also? But is this the nationalism that we are seeing creeping around our Congress? Is it? Okay. The nationalism that is exploding in executive orders, the nationalism that is exploding in the Caribbean Sea, is this about pulling people together? The nationalism that wants to rescind blessings like birthright citizenship or steal the right to health care, is that the same nationalism that I just spoke of? Was it a commitment to embrace the many disparate parts of our national whole that just was one in the passing of the latest budget? How did we get from seeing all of us as a single unified nation, a single whole, to a war on the poor and the immigrant and the woman and the genderqueer and the black and the brown? How did we get from America the Ark, that is a sacred home for all, to the desecration of that whole in shards on a billionaire's floor. History tells us how. European nationalism didn't stop when it finished its project of collecting and piecing together all the broken parts. It switched directions, turned tail, spun back on its best intentions. It began lifting up historic groups united by language and culture and calling them nations in and of themselves. Nations, a people with the right to usurp land and control. You see where that might be headed? We know where that leads. Profit over people, power of the few over the many, white supremacist nationalism. I don't want to go here, but we've been brought here again by the forces of greed and dominion, and we need to know our history and what is truly unfolding right now, because it mirrors the very worst in the world. Yugoslavia is the prime example of this malignant form of nationalism, one that was born to be unifying, but became so divisive it inspired a genocide. Yugoslavism, or Yugoslav nationalism, originally attempted to unite Serbs and Croats and Slovenes into a single nation. But ethnic nationalisms, especially those that gained fervor around the 1980s, resisted the whole until ethnic tensions rose to violence, then war, and then the undermining of the nation itself. Yugoslav citizen and memorialist for his once nation, Srđan Medmenović, expresses this loss in the powerful phrase, "Once, long ago, there was a world in which we called different languages ours." Once, we called different languages ours. Donald Trump stopped being coy about the question of nationalism, writes Donald M. Owen at a rally in 2018. Trump said exactly and specifically, "You know, they have a word. It sort of became old-fashioned. It's called nationalist. And I say, really? We're not supposed to use that word? You know what I am. I'm a nationalist. Okay, I'm a nationalist." But whose nationalist is he? Is he a nationalist that wants to piece the country back together again, fix the brokenness that globalism did in part exacerbate? Or is his nationalism malignant and spinning back on itself, defining the nation around a supposed historic group, defining the nation as something far smaller than it is or should be? Is his an ethno-nationalism, a white supremacist nationalism, a nationalism that bids him smirk at a funeral while declaring retribution on his enemies within his nation? We are in a season, call it by its many names, but know, please know, that it is a malignant nationalism. We are being ruled by lawmakers who do not shudder when they hear right-wing thought leader Steve Bannon say that he prefers legacy Americans to newcomers. But beloved, don't let the chaos wheel of our political reality keep us from remembering who we are and who we were always meant to be. We as a nation, when the people are willing, overthrow base and illegitimate tyranny and Unitarians and Universalists are historically nearly always on the front lines. Take the revolution from tyranny that began this nation. It was first fought on the Old North Bridge in Concord, a stone's throw from William Emerson's home. Yes, William Emerson was the grandfather of Unitarian Ralph Waldo Emerson. And for this battle, he had been called into service as the troops' chaplain. And who led the troops for this first revolution into battle? The commander of the Lexington militia was a man named John Parker. Yes, that's Theodore Parker, the famous Unitarian's abolitionist father. And it was John Parker who famously said, "Stand your ground. Don't fire unless fired upon. But if they mean to have a war, let it begin here." But John Parker should also be remembered because the small company he commanded included both black and white militia men at the Revolution. We have done it before. We have pulled the broken bits together. We have held firm, fought for the value of freedom and inclusion, and birthed a nation out of the many into one. In a message to the nation focused on the July 4th holiday, the president of the NAACP, Derek Johnson, wrote, "If our nation managed to free itself from the British, surely we can free the poor from student debt, or the black families from voter suppression, or every woman from draconian rulings. Surely," he implied, "ours at heart is a project of liberation, not subjugation." Ache for the neighbors, for the family members, for the friends. Ache for yourself if you have lost a job or financial stability or safety or Medicaid or. Ache for the truth of the desecration that falsely parades as our nation. But beloved, if you need to go, know that your survival and your family's survival is necessary and good, and take leave of this place if it allows you more freedom. But know, please know, that this sacred place, this congregation, and so many more like it will be here, fighting to again make the broken pieces whole. Malignant nationalism will not force me to disassociate from my nation. I know that the same spiritual truths that uphold my universalism were woven into the promise of this America and staked as a claim in this country's revolution. As that black bard of Harlem, Langston Hughes, proclaimed, "Oh yes, say it plain, America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America yet will be." I know if we are called to fix anything, ours must be a project of fixing the vast and diverse parts of the human family back together again into a democratizing whole. I know that you know that profit must never trump people. I know that you know that people means all of us, now and forever. And beloved, we know that what tries to separate us is unholy. But what dares us to pick up the shards again and to glue and tape them back together with whatever we can find, That is what I call God. That is what I know to be holy. That's what science calls truth, what compassion calls us to serve, and what this nation on its $1 bill calls e pluribus unum, out of the many, one. So may it be, and amen. We invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing along, "There is more love somewhere," and I invite you to try and believe it. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more peace. There is more hope. There is more joy. If somebody near you has tears in their eyes, reach out. Give them a hand. Hold on. Hold on. We need one another. the touch of community. We don't need that sound, but I'll take it. It was a good laugh line. We need laughter. We absolutely need laughter. I was telling our groups yesterday, our small groups, I met with our small group facilitators, and I looked around the room and I read a poem about the justice work that needs to be done, and I said to them, do not doubt for 1 second that you are not doing social justice work. By calling people together in small groups where we learn how to love one another even through the terror and the trouble of these times, we are doing justice work. You are doing justice work by reaching out and holding one another, and when you have the energy, doing that work outside these walls and caring for this nation that needs to be made whole. May it be so. Amen. We extinguish our chalice, and we believe that the times, they are a-changin'.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are changing. Come writers and critics, prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who it is naming. For the loser now will later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your halls, for the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is now rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are changing. Oh, the line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, and the present now will later be past. Order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are